Hey, Wilton. I heard that the Diocese of North Carolina wants to know what we think of them.
Who?
The Diocese of North Carolina. It's part of the Episcopal Church. You know, the ones that are a bit like the Catholics, but without all the guilt.
Oh, okay. But I know nothing about church.
That's okay. They really want to know what we think about God and spirituality and stuff. They want to come talk to us.
Well, I guess so, Kate, but to be honest, I don't think I have a lot to offer. I mean, church is for kids and for old people, right? I mean, my mom took me when I was little, but there's nothing for people our age, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. But maybe we can help them change all that?
I do consider myself a young adult.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I think I'm getting to the end of my young adult phase.
Yes.
I don't consider myself a young adult.
Yeah.
I suppose so.
That time period where you have no clue to you have half a clue. So like maybe from 17 or 18 to 24 or 25, I would categorize that as young adulthood. Because I feel like you're still, totally figuring it out unless you're figuring it out.
I'm still in a transition that people consider you're technically an adult. Watching a 60 Minutes thing the other day, and it's like most Americans believe that you reach adulthood at 26 or later, which is ridiculous. It's so old.
Probably most traditional definitions of young adult would be 20 to 30 or 15 to 25. So I would fall toward the outer end of it. But given the state of our world today, me and so many of my friends are not married. We don't have children, and part of me thinks that's one of the hard markers on the passage from young adulthood to mature adulthood is the establishment of a relationship, children, what have you.
I think it's partially age, but I think it's also partially stage of life that I'm a student. I'm not married. I have no children. All of those kind of life indicators that would make me a real adult. You can be, 45 and be a young adult.
Right.
I mean, that's still very young, obviously, but I think it's also, I think you can be, 28 and be not consider yourself to be a young adult. I think it is very much what your lifestyle is.
I think of that as more, I don't know if this is fair, but based on freedoms that you have as far as when I was young and not married and all I had to do was go to work and then show up and then go home, and I had a rent to pay or whatever, but pretty much if I wanted to pick up and go to a concert that night or go out to a show or a bar or whatever, I could, on short notice I could do it. But now I feel like I'm married, I have a 2-year-old, I have a dog, I have a mortgage, I have all these things that are sort of my responsibilities, and so it's not to say that I'm not free to do other things, but in some ways I have more structure and I have more responsibility now in my life, and so I think I'm kind of, whether I'm young adult anymore, I'm not sure if that really counts. I do think
there's so many broad opportunities that it can almost be overwhelming. Your stimulation thinking. I think that we have grown up in a time where every moment of every day is filled with something.
You don't have to get married during college anymore. You don't have to have 2 kids by the time you're 30. You don't have to buy a house, buy a car. You don't have that quote unquote American dream lifestyle anymore. And frankly, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
People are really taking more time to find themselves. People are taking more time to really think about what they want to do with their lives.
People I went to high school with some have grandchildren. I mean, they're young grandchildren, but they have children who are having children, and mine kids too just turned.
So they're grandparents and associates.
In their late 30s. I think some people enter adulthood later, and so therefore their young adulthood lasts longer, if that makes sense. Maybe people with more comfortable socioeconomic backgrounds have the luxury of not having terrible responsibilities for a long time. But I do think there are many young people here in this county who become adults quite early on, 16, 17, 18.
Yeah.
Well, spirituality is just I feel like it's a feeling you have.
Okay.
You feel more connected to that.
Okay.
You feel more connected to your faith. You feel more connected to a higher being.
You know, the God thing I still am a little bit on the fence about. You know, I do believe there's something else, but I'm just not sure it's as specific as that. You know, I think it was more the feeling of you're not alone. You know, I don't know if spirituality is the doing the right thing. I'm not sure that that's what it is. I don't think that that's true. I think that's just the way you live your life, and that's the way you're supposed to do it. And it's not based on a God or a Buddha or anything like that. So I kind of, for me, I separate what that is from spirituality. And the spirituality part is what I think I felt in that church in England, but I'm not sure what it is or what it means. And is it that somebody's got your back that you can't articulate, or I don't think it's praying. I don't think it's you know, maybe it's community a little bit. I mean, spirituality to me, the word sounds much more like the heavens or another part of life that you can't put your hands on.
Yeah.
And I'm so based in what you can put your hands on that I can't really figure out spiritually. It's almost like you know it when you feel it.
Right.
Right. For me, spirituality is more a feeling of a close relationship between me and a higher power, and also between me and the world around me, the people around me.
A lot of people have an aversion to the word religion, especially where I come from. They hate the word religion. They say, you know, it's all about a relationship with Jesus. It's not about religion. And I find that they have it all wrong. No, this is a religion. This is a set thing that has set ideas that I follow and that I subscribe to. So I do find myself a religious, deeply religious person.
In my mind, religion seems to be a more structured thing, maybe more a defined, set of like credo or beliefs or something like that.
If I were to be religious, if I were to accept religion, I feel like there's a commitment there to a set of rules or a doctrine. The same way that you make a commitment when you're married. I didn't write the rules of marriage; they existed before me. I find ways to live within them, or even to flourish within them. I don't mean to make it sound punitive. And I see religion as a similar sort of thing, and I just think that may be very difficult to reconcile with the freedom that most people perceive they have in the modern world.